Hello and very good evening. I, Anudivan, welcome you to live interactive special session Sahyog, providing psychological support and mental well-being of students. The topic for today's discussion is critical thinking in nurturing mental health. In this episode, we are going to talk about the topic is what is critical thinking, what importance does it hold, and how does it nurture to the mental health. These all questions will be discussed with our expert who are available with us online. I just welcome Dr. Brajayanti Devi from NIRIE Shillong, NCERT. Hello ma'am, a very good evening.
Namaste.
I also welcome Dr. Lopa Mudra Shah, practicing counselor. Hello ma'am, a very good evening.
A very good evening.
Before we begin with our session, I just announce you that India's G20 presidency was a watershed moment in the country, a nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism. India's G20 presidency in her history seeks to play an important role by finding pragmatic global solutions for the well-being of all, and in doing so manifest the true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is, the world is one family. So also we get back to our session. The topic for today is critical thinking in nurturing mental health. Before going to the session, let me just announce you, if you have any question with our expert, you can call us on 8800 440 or you can mail us your queries on sahyog.ncert@nic.in. Ma'am, my first question to Brajayanti ma'am to you is, what is all about critical thinking, which we are going to talk about today?
So critical thinking is a process of thinking how we think, because people keep on thinking, but critical thinking is one type of thinking wherein one questions, one analyzes, one interprets, one evaluates, and then make a judgment about what he or she heard. That means it is a work of how we solve the problem by considering all the facts and all the information, and by utilizing our intellect on what I have heard, what I have seen, what I have read is how far it is true or it is okay or not. So critical thinking is also one of the ability to analyze facts in the form of judgment. It is a form of emotional intelligence, because we nowadays 25th century skill and the emotional intelligence, we coin many terms, but critical thinking is also considered as emotional intelligence, or it also considered a life skill. Someone who critically thinking skills can think clearly and rationally when the situation demands. It allows them to perform problem solving and decision making more effectively. Means, where I want to say here, suppose if I have been told something or I have read something, and how do I react to that, and how should I take a decision? It is not only from what I heard, from what I have seen, from what I have read. We have to consider all the facts and what may be the this is we can also call critical thinking another alternative way of thinking, because what I have seen is how much it is correct, and there may be some other view about others, and whether the information given to me is the fully correct, and all these things one has to think critically. Means sometimes we have to doubt about the truth what I have been told, and I have to think that critically. Means not saying yes to everything, because someone may tell me that some blackmailing, or sometimes some people want to maybe may like to distract me from something else, or many people they do these things nowadays, and some people have been given misinformation, and then when they believe, it raises to conflict. So many things problem, it ended to problem. So if one person is critically think of the situation, of the information, of the of the information, and of the incident, of any event, so one should think it critically. Means they have to use all the possible outcomes, and not only that by using resources, by using another sources of information sources for collecting information. So all the information, required information, should be collected, and by utilizing all those information, by analyzing what may be the pros and cons of this one, and what may be the another view of this particular information given to me. So I have to analyze. When I have some information, I have to analyze by considering the positive and the negative impact of that. And if I do like this, what may be the, the consequence of these outcomes? All these things I have to analyze properly, and I have to come to a decision. What should I do, and how to respond to that information what I have been given? But these things are some of the important things of the critical thinking. So what do we mean by critical thinking is that, because not believing just what people say to you, or not believing what people tell you and what you have seen. So all these things you should be able to use all the resources, all type of information, and analyzing all those information. You have to interpret all type of information given to you, and some result also may be there. Then also you have to think, oh, is that may there be another result of this information instead of this one? So when we do like this, if we do not think critically for any event, anything, then we may land to decision which is very biased and is very subjective, which is not objective. And because of this, critical thinking is the way we think by using our intellect, and we have to very skillfully and very actively we have to use our mind and our resources, and we have to see the situation accordingly. We have to come to the conclusion that we have to take decision out of using all this.
Helps to improve your decision making and also polishes your creativity. Lopamudra ma'am, my question comes to you. What mental health includes in nurturing it?
Okay, like as we know now, the concept earlier, what happened, like we were not aware about the concept of mental health. We were very, like, we were suppressive about taking care of our mental health. Nowadays the scenario has changed, and we are taking care of our mental health too. If you want to define mental health, then mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, how we feel and act. It also helps determine how we handle our stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. So it's been very important that how you think, that is very important for your mental health too. Next slide, please. Associating critical thinking with mental health is it is often you cannot say that without reason we are associating with critical thinking, since theories of psychotherapy has stressed a linkage between mental problems and dysfunctional thinking. Proponents of cognitive behavioral therapy suggest that the interpretation by people of a situation affects their emotional, behavioral, and physiological reactions. Those with mental problems are inclined to bias or heuristic thinkings, and are more likely to misinterpret neutral or even positive situations. The next slides. In addition to theoretical underpinnings, characteristics of university students also suggest a relationship between critical thinking and mental health. University students are risky population in terms of mental health, we all know. In particular, the risk increases when students experiences academic failure. Hong et al. Did a study and found that the stress in Chinese college students were primarily related to academic, personal, and negative life events. They are actually trying to find like how the thought process of yours is actually affecting your mental health. Critical thinking can be considered one of the most important resources that students are able to use. Both critical thinking skills and critical thinking dispositions are valuable qualities for college students to possess. Next slide. There is also evidence showing students with higher level of critical thinking are more successful in terms of academic performance. Like if the critical thinking is more, academic performance, but because you are thinking logically, right? You are out of bias. So it's very important. This suggests that the students with higher critical thinking are less likely to suffer from mental problems. Other than this, there are some other studies also that critical thinking disposition of students are positively correlated with their self-esteem, but was negatively correlated with their trait anxiety. So it's like it is very much interrelated. We say one thing, that everything is in your head. Whatever you are thinking, that only materialize. So it's very important. Whatever you are thinking, that thinking should be very much it should be critically thought, so that you are whenever you are having some problem, you come out of the stress because you are thinking logically, right? Next, ma'am will be telling about the role of critical thinking in
Exactly, ma'am. We have understood that what important role does it mental health includes in nurturing it. My question to come to you is, Rajanti, ma'am, how critical thinking plays in nurturing mental health?
As I have mentioned earlier, that critical thinking is a process, how we think, how we see an event, how we reflect on that, how we respond to others. That's why critical thinking plays a great role in maintaining and improving mental health, because mental health related mental health problems, as Lupa said, so mental health is the condition of our mind and the, I mean, how we take the things, and because of those how we take things, we landed to some depression, some anxiety, some conflict. So many things are there, mental health elements. So critical thinking is very important. We should say it is the one important means to nurture mental health. So critical thinking can help us to better manage our time, our money, and our relationships. So relationship is more important, but even for time, when one person is critical thinker, then he or she has to see all the facts I said, and he has to give priority. Which one should I give? Suppose I want to see a TV serial, I always see the TV serial, and the timing is 7 or to 8 o'clock, something like that. I have a fixed time, but then when something comes up, then I should be able to take right decision whether I should, which one I should skip it. And then when doing like this, I should be able to give the previous slide only, no, not this one. So I have to be able to think, I have to be able to give priority in which what type of work I should spend more time, so that I should not repent later on, oh, I should have not done this, I should have used my time in this like this. So when I think critically, when I think critically, I said decision taking is very important for critical thinking, and when I think right decision, I will not repent. And suppose money example I am telling, so when on the day when someone get the salary, then he always thinks that this much money is my earned money, so why should not I enjoy myself little bit? But on the other hand, he or she may has some more expenditures very tightly. They have arranged managing for 1 month. Suppose this much amount for the electricity bill, this much will be for grocery, like that. They may have some heads, specific heads, but sometimes it may be carried away. So I have done so much hard work, and why can't I enjoy little bit? Like that, sometimes people use extravagant expenditure, and then when one is critical thinker, when you have to think critically where to use the money, and when you do not have money, you should not think that emotionally that no, I have worked so hard, so it is my right to spend money like that. I mean, when you think about this thing this way, then you can use your money properly. So I mean, the proper and the judicial use of money also is the contribution from the critical thinking, and the most importantly, relationship. So sometimes when we have some friendship, when we have some close relationship with my boss, maybe my workplace, maybe at home, maybe my friend, but sometimes many things come up in the relationship, and because of very nasty things we break the relationship, because one cannot think critically. Suppose some the information given to me, okay, she has done this to me, and sometimes I may think that, okay, the reason behind the action of someone, I presume, okay, I presume, and I think that, okay, because thinking like this she did to me, but that time I should also think that maybe this is my idea, this is my opinion, but what may be her another idea and opinion. So if we think critically, and if we can, bring many aspects, and before coming to the conclusion, before coming to the decision, so many relationship we can maintain, and the hardship in relationship can be reduced, and the reduced stress. Because all these things, when we do these three things, about time, about money, and the relationship, then many of the stress and the impulsive decision can be avoided, and we can make right decision. So there was educational programs examining the effect of teaching, because how critical thinking is helping in mental health. It's very long, and there are many methods, but some of the findings give that critical thinking skills on the mental health of adolescents also found positive results, because it got somatic symptoms, anxiety, depression, and the insomnia in adolescents are because of the some stress, and the resulted from many factors can be resolved, can be reduced by the empowering them, and by inculcating to the students how they should think the critically, and how should they take the things critically. And another recent critical thinking is intervention also. Critical thinking can be an intervention for significant reduction in mental stress among the university students, not only adolescents, not only small children. So even in the university students, critical thinking plays a great role in reducing stress and anxiety. So it plays a great role. Next slide. So why here we can discuss a little bit why critical thinking, and how critical thinking is helping in reducing the stress, anxiety, which lead to the nurturing mental health. So critical thinkers, because we say critical thinking is a process of thinking, but the people who think critically possesses some of the characteristics like dispositions. So these critical thinkers have specific traits. That means some of the dispositions are open-mindedness. I should not stick to my opinion only. I should be able to welcome, and I should be able to endorse other people's view on the same issues, on the same topic. I may have one opinion, but other people may have some opinions. That's why when I am open-mindedness, when I'm open, I have the quality of characteristics of open-mindedness. I should be able to respect others' views. In that case, the stress, but otherwise I may think, okay, what I say is not, it should be correct. And when I am not, allowed, or I am not permitted to think that whatever I think is correct, then I may, have some problem, mental problem. But that mental problem can be avoided by thinking that, oh, other people also may have different opinions. So by taking other people's opinions, so we should come into consensus. This is when we open-mindedness is the characteristics of critical thinking. And they're being able to consider different perspectives and the points of view. In other words, having cognitive flexibility. That's why the idea, the knowledge which I have, I should be able to review it, and I should think, okay, the knowledge I have may not be perfect, may not be complete. Some other people also may have another knowledge which I do not have, and some extra additional knowledge. So this way, if I can welcome other people's opinion, then this is the disposition, and the not being stuck in I said skepticism, clarity, and the precision. These are some of the subsets of critical thinking. So when because of these characteristics possessed by the people who have critical thinking, so it can reduce other people's mental stress, anxiety. At the same time, it can nurture the mental health of the people who are listening to me. I am spreading that, receiving, and also in the I myself also can be, I myself also may have reduced the stress, and then have mental health. Next.
Lopa ma'am, like ma'am told us that critical thinking manages time, manages money, improves relationship, it reduces stress, and also helps in impulsive decision making. My question to you, Lopa ma'am, is this: how can we practice critical thinking in our daily life? Can you share some tips?
Next slide was my argument. No.
Ma'am, my question to
Just
Lupa ma'am
conclude.
is this, how can we practice critical thinking in our daily life?
Okay, okay. Please go to the last slide, please. Yeah, this one only. Okay. I'll just give you like we can, we can be like brick. Okay, you have to identify the biases, whatever biases are there, because this creates a lot of mess actually. Then we have to do a lot of research, because this research only will make you think more logically. The more you will research on the topics, you will think critically more. Then you have to draw inferences from the options available. Then you should not suppress your questions. You should be always curious about whatever you are now whatever you want to ask. You should ask and keep on judging on the relevance of the options available to you. This is very important. So these are the small tips which can help you to think critically in your daily life.
Exactly. So these were some tips shared by the ma'am. Like you can identify the biasness, research, inference, or curiosity. Keep on judging relevance of the issue. So these things will help you critically think in your daily life, which will enhance your personality, reduce your stress, manages your relationship, and manage everything in your daily life. So thank you so much, Lopa ma'am, for this very specific and very brief information on critical thinking in nurturing mental health. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brajanti ma'am, for the same information you shared. It was very helpful, and I hope our parents and students will listen to this program again and again and develop these critical thinking habits into their daily lives. Thank you, Brajanti ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before leaving for the session, let me just announce you that NCERT textbooks for 2023-24 are available throughout the countries. These textbooks may be purchased from NCERT sales counter in New Delhi, Guwahati, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru and Kolkata. These sales counter will be functional on all working days including Saturdays and Sundays and gazetted holidays from 9:30 am to 6 pm. You may also place an order online, and these books will be available at your doorstep free of cost. You can also purchase from online. The website is ncertbooks.ncert.gov.in, and if you want the soft copy of the book in PDF version, then you can download it from NCERT Diksha and ePathshala website and mobile application. Please visit the website ncert.nic.in to know more about the authorized vendor. Thank you so much for the session for today.